Welcome to episode 100 of Juan's World. That means I have been recording these videos for almost a year. I record them twice a week, so 2 times 50 is 100, slightly short of a year. I could go to 104 to make it exactly a year, but 100 is such a nice round number that I'm going to celebrate now, including with a new intro video, shorter, to the point, and I'm going to consider restructuring the videos as I go, although I think the Tuesday, Friday option is the best one for me, but whether I stick with Tuesday recipes, Friday philosophy, I'm not sure at this point. Probably not, because I don't have quite so many recipes. But today I will have a recipe, and a lot of other things too, because it's the 100th episode, so there'll be a kind of omnibus version of Juan's World today. And let's get started with my new intro. Right before I started making these videos, I spent a month in Borneo, mostly in Sarawak, and mostly in the rainforests. Spent a little bit of time in the cities, but I spent most of my time visiting Dayak villages of various indigenous groups, including the Penan, the Orang Ulu, the Saaban, and so forth. And it was a very interesting time. I met some really fascinating people, and I journeyed a lot through the rainforests and through rivers and what have you. My poor old body not really recovering very well, but I was particularly interested in the Penan people because one of my mentors, Rodney Needham, had worked with them when they were still foragers, that is hunters and gatherers, back in the 1950s. And I met them on several occasions, and the time that I best remember was walking through the rainforest from Longbanga, where I was staying, to Long Lamai, which is a Penan village, and was received very well, and not only in Long Lamai, but in several other places where they have schools. They had asked me if I would come back for a longer period to help train the teachers. So that's something that I'm considering. Then in September, I spent part of the month in Yunnan province, in Kunming, the capital of Yunnan. I used to live there. My son still lives there. And I wanted to go back for a variety of reasons, including to see some old friends, take some more photos, all those usual kinds of things I do when I'm traveling, eat a lot of really good food. And I was tempted to consider moving there. for a while. Not permanently, no more permanently than moving to Borneo permanently, but moving for, say, 6 months to improve my Chinese language skills, to get much more food from both the Yunnan palette and also the Dai and various other ethnic minorities that live in the area, do some traveling, maybe do some field work. And I even set the wheels in motion, and then COVID-19 hit. And so my plan, which was to travel to Yunnan in February of this year and stay there for 6 months, went belly up. And this year I was also planning a trip to Djibouti and Turkey and England. I had a school reunion planned in England, and of course that was all called off too. And I'm not going anywhere. So I have to rethink all of my plans. But one of the things that will always be constant will be my cooking. Today I want to extend my cooking ideas by talking about not wasting anything. Here's an image from episode 98 when I braised a chicken in a Chinese master stock. And I gave a recipe back then, and over the course of a week I made several recipes with the meat. And I ended up at the end of the week with a chicken carcass with a few bits of meat still on it. Put it in a pot with some leeks and a few herbs and flavorings, and made a soup. And the soup itself was nice. I added some dumplings at one point, made a nice dumplings in broth. Still had some soup left over, so I sieved out the solids and added some mushrooms that were also left over from another dish. Put them in a skillet with some Thai and Cambodian curry sauces, a little bit of the stock, and cooked it down, and then took the broth that I had sieved out the particles from and boiled some rice, and then mixed the rice with the chicken and mushrooms and made a very nice meal, which I had for lunch today. And that chicken now is mostly gone. So don't waste food. Always find creative things to do with the bits that are left over. And I will see you on Friday. Not sure what I'm going to do, but please tell your friends to watch my videos, to like and subscribe, and there'll be more philosophy, travel, and cooking in the coming 100 episodes.